Welcome back to Not So Pro. Guys, again, on a Friday night, we are here to talk about football. And you're talking like, what are we doing an emergency episode in the middle of the off season? What are we going to talk about? Guys, everything is happening right now. Everything's happening so fast, so quick. Quarterbacks are getting moved around everywhere. We're still waiting on one quarterback to move. But there was a humongous trade this today that came just a few hours ago, and it made me say, "We got to get the boys together. We got to get everybody in here and talk about this humongous trade that just happened." Panthers have now just traded up with the Chicago Bears, traded their whole future away, banking on somebody, hopefully, to be the new quarterback. They traded up to the number 1 overall pick, and they now control the destiny of who gets picked first. Obviously, they're trying to go after a quarterback. What are your guys' initial thoughts about the Panthers moving up and taking the first pick?
Well, it kind of sounds like what we talked about last week, and I said I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers moved up even to the first overall pick. I said it last week, right, to get a quarterback ahead of teams like the Seattle Seahawks. But it seems like the most wanted guy out there, the name that gets tossed around the most as far as QBs coming into this draft is CJ Stroud, right? He's the biggest eye candy coming into the draft, and it's easy to tell why. He kind of reminds me of a Justin Fields, but in a level up in that college level. Um, very cool dude. Seems to be humble, nice on and off the field, and he likes to make plays happen. And it seems like the Panthers have been on such a dry spell for so long that they're willing to risk it all to get what they had back in Cam Newton's prime days, and that might be CJ Stroud.
It might be. It might be. Vincent, what are your initial thoughts? Thoughts when you just saw that the Panthers traded up to the number 1 spot?
It reminded me of the Broncos when they traded for Russell Wilson. But the only thing that's different here is they don't know who they're going to get yet. They're still looking at all the tape. They're looking at all the stuff that happened in the combine that just went on. And it was in Indianapolis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're looking at all that stuff just to see who they're going to pick. We all expect it to be a quarterback, but another guy that's kind of rising up in the ranks, but I don't think he's at CJ Stroud's level yet, is Anthony Richardson. He had a good combine just a few days ago, so he's rising up the ranks in the QB position. He's the guy from Florida, so he reminds me of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully he doesn't get treated like Lamar Jackson when he makes it to the league. But those are my thoughts. I just think it's crazy of how much they're trading up for just one pick.
Yeah, I was very, very shocked when I saw the Panthers did it. I know AJ called it and everything, but I'm very surprised, especially with what they gave up. I knew somebody was going to end up doing it. We all knew someone was going to trade up because the Bears didn't want to be there. We'll talk about that a little bit. What led to their decision about this? But the Bears ended up trading the first overall pick for the number 9 overall pick. They traded those 2 picks, so the Bears go from the 1st to 9th. So that was just the trade right there. A second this year, so they get a second round pick back from, you guys remember, if you guys remember mid-season, the Bears traded away a second round pick for Chase Claypool. Really stupid pick. Thank God they did it. They saved the Packers a lot right there. And then a first next year in the 2024 draft, and then a second rounder in 2025, which you would imagine by then that the Panthers are a decent team, and that's going to be maybe a mid-round second pick. Maybe. We'll see. And then the biggest eye candy, biggest thing that happened with this trade is that the Panthers traded away DJ Moore. This is a trade that we have been suspecting maybe happening, or a guy that we've been expecting he's going to get moved for the past year or so, ever since the Panthers hit that reset button by trading away Christian McCaffrey. We've been expecting DJ Moore to get moved eventually, and he finally did. And I honestly have to say, I thought this was a bad trade for the Bears to get away from the first overall pick. But I saw they got DJ Moore in this free agency period where there's not a lot of great wide receivers as far out there, unlike last year's free agency for wide receiver markets. This was a really good pickup for the Bears. I heard he was like like the pinnacle point of this trade. That they were not trading with the Panthers unless they got DJ Moore. So I thought, honestly, this trade that the Bears had with the Panthers was a pretty good one as far as their trade compensation.
I agree. I mean, I think it's a great trade. Bravo to the Bears. They basically got a free pick, which that's a huge slap in the face to the Texans because that should have been theirs. But Lovie Smith decided to get cute and win that game, which cost him his job, by the way. But that could have been the Texans. And yeah, I know the Texans are in need of a QB. So I'm not going to say, oh, the Texans would have done that. They probably would have used their first overall pick for the QB. But I'm just saying, like, that's the possible for future outcome, right? Now, bravo to the Bears. They let go of that first overall pick because clearly in a QB heavy draft, the Panthers are looking to get a QB, and they got their guy Justin Fields, right? That says one thing, and that means that they are trusting Justin Fields, and they do believe that that is their guy. A lot of people might not see it that way, but they addressed a huge key position, and as you said, Reed, that is DJ Moore. And that's awesome. Now they got more Claypool and also St. Brown, who's just phenomenal and doing a lot of great things on that offense. So I'm super excited to see what they do. They do need to address their O-line and also their defense. I wish they would have gone maybe someone like Brian Burns over DJ Moore. I would have preferred that. But good for the Bears. I'm super happy for them. Horrible for the Panthers. They gave up way too much.
Yeah. Kyrie, welcome to the chat, man. We appreciate you tuning in. It's been a while, man. We've been missing you ever since you're still recovering from the Bengals loss, man. Hope you're recovering well there, Kyrie. We miss you around here.
Why? Why would you? Oh, wow.
I'm just sorry. I know he's just been a little quiet lately. I miss our guy, Kyrie. Are you talking about the fleece that happened today? Yes, that's literally what I called it when I saw it. Horrible trade, or if they're smart, they can trade again back to the 4th pick with the Colts and get most of the picks they lost to the Bears. Yes, I have heard this theory that, and I know it's 100% confirmed, that the Panthers may be potentially looking to trade back. They just wanting to get in the wheelhouse of getting a quarterback. From what I've heard, they have multiple quarterbacks they are interested in. Now, that's not a confirmed source I've heard that from. So I wouldn't say that 100%. But they could definitely trade back here to maybe the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th pick and get a guy that they still feel confident will be there. And get some of that trade compensation back. So now they control the destiny. They control what they want to do. If anybody wants the first overall pick, they have to go to them first. So very, very cool. And they still got their future quarterback. Yes, they did. Yeah. Vincent, what are your thoughts on the trade compensation for the Bears?
Well, I mean, they got a lot. They got a lot. I don't know what they're gonna plan to do with it because I think the only good draft picks that they have gotten was Khalil Mack they didn't even draft. Oh yeah, they did draft him. Khalil Mack was like one of their best draft not like drafted players. The other guy is probably David Montgomery. And then I would say Justin Fields is a decent one because he's their bridge quarterback right now. I don't think yet he's their future quarterback, but I don't know what the Bears are going to do with all these picks. Obviously, it benefits them because they can trade for players in the free agency or after free agency when the season starts. They can just draft all the players that they want, whoever they like. So it gives them a lot of power. But I'm just waiting to see what they do with that power. So, like you said, and you continue to say on this podcast, picks are cool, but it's not always a guarantee that you're going to get a great player with those picks. So, I'm just waiting to see what they do. Having a bunch of picks is cool. I'm glad that the Seahawks have 10 this draft period. So, we'll see what happens.
I like that. Yeah, I always say that. I mean, draft picks are great and all, but you never know how they're going to turn out. They can go either great for you or good, or they can be a bum and get out of the league in just a few years. I'm trying to pull up. Kyrie says that was just my opinion. I didn't know it was a rumor. I am trying to pull up the tweet I saw that that they are looking. Here it is. Okay, I'm gonna pull. No. Yes. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm looking everywhere currently, but yes. The Panthers can do whatever they want now. They control their own destiny. They can either get a quarterback in the first round, the first overall pick, or they could end up going somewhere else with it. Let me
The
share my screen.
Panthers really just dug themselves into a really deep hole. Honestly, with them going to the first overall pick, I really hope they do trade back to get some picks back because they're going to continue to go in this carousel of head coaches because they're putting all their eggs into one basket, like we always say in the show, and that is into one young quarterback that has zero experience, who obviously is going to come into the league starting because you're not going to waste that talent, right? You're not going to waste this opportunity, and it might not pan out. And if it doesn't pan out, you lost your best wide receiver, and the only thing you got going for you is Brian Burns. Everyone else is coming towards the end of their career, and nothing's really going to get going for the Panthers. And especially in that division, what else you got, man? What else you got? I know there's not a lot of competition, but I mean, Saints just amped up, right? I mean, you think a first overall pick's going to help you out? Help you out? Your future's done. You trade all your draft capital. I think their only hope is to actually trade back and get some of that coming back at them.
Yeah, so this is from Dov Cleveman. This guy isn't the most 100% always, but a lot of times he gets news first because he hits and misses really. But he says the report is confirms Scott Fowler that the Bears or the Panthers are open to trading down from the first overall pick they acquired from the Bears. If they have more than one quarter prospect they like, they could trade down to recoup some draft picks. Told by Joe Person. So I don't know 100% if that's actually true. As I said, this guy isn't always 100% correct in his calls. Yeah, you just have to be careful with this guy. But that is a report out there. Sometimes he's right, sometimes he is wrong. But I want to get it. We've talked about the Panthers side of things with how they traded a lot away and stuff like that. Now with the Bears, what are your thoughts on the Bears trading down? I'll give my opinion on it. The Bears are absolute trash. This is a terrible idea from them. They want to stick with Justin Fields because you put a first overall pick in him over like 2 years ago now, and you saw him develop a lot this past year where he looked a lot better. But in my opinion, you can build all this team around him, getting all these first round picks, etc. And with their free agency period that's coming up, this Monday free agency opens, they're going to get a lot of veterans brought into the Bears, and they're going to improve in a lot of areas because that whole team is garbage. They can improve in any position, and they're going to be a better team. But the problem is your plans as your quarterback one moving forward is Justin Fields, and he's a talent. Let me tell you, he's a talent. Great runner. He's extremely athletic, but he cannot pass the ball consistently. He just cannot. I do not trust that guy throwing the ball. I am not confident in him throwing the ball, and they're building this whole thing around him, and I think it's going to end up collapsing on him. I do not see the Bears being able to move forward and be a contender in this league. I think they could potentially get up to a 500 overall team where they win as much as they lose, and that's about it as far as they go. The Bears are building this around Justin Fields, and it's going to fail with Justin Fields.
The Bears don't know how to build. Like you said before, Reed, what is a quarterback's job?
Pass the ball. This is a
To pass the
passing
ball.
league.
This is a passing league, right? I mean, you see Lamar Jackson drop in production because he mainly uses his legs. Granted that all his receivers get injured, but look at Patrick Mahomes. He runs when he needs to, when the situation is there. Look at Dak Prescott. He runs when he absolutely needs to. The Bears found success last year whenever they started running the ball first with Justin Fields. Now that got old real fast. Defense is caught on real quick. He might look good in fantasy football, but everything else, not so much. You are a quarterback, right? You're supposed to pass the ball. You're supposed to make smart decisions. And you're supposed to be smart on the field. Now you look at the Bears. What do they have going on for them? You could be honest here. In what position do they thrive at? Their wide receiver position, and as I mentioned before, it's a good upgrade, but Chase Claypool, he's mid to lower range. Okay. St. Brown, I feel like he has a lot of potential, but I feel a lot of that comes off of his brother's success, and that's why we think that way. Defensively, they could have stopped Jack Crap last year. Offensive line couldn't hold, so they couldn't run the ball, which they are a quote unquote run first team. David Montgomery, he's really old now compared to everyone else on that team. So it looks like they might move on from him. And then what? What do they have going on for them? An athletic quarterback? No, I do believe he is truly talented. I don't believe that he can succeed in that system. And I don't believe the Bears are going to make anything of themselves with that many picks. I don't feel like they draft very well. I know they drafted well in the past, but they hit on what, one out of how many picks? I don't think it's possible for the Bears to to do something with this, right? They did their good deed. Good job on them for gaining picks and trying to do something, because with the first overall pick, I believe it's going to go to a complete waste. I don't think they're going to do anything with it because they already got their quarterback that they're set in stone with. They just have to change themselves internally, right? Change the system, change the scheme. Look in the mirror. Who are you guys? What are you made of? And what are you trying to do? Let's look at our division, right? Let's look at the Vikings, Choke City, right? Easily taken over. Let's look at the Packers. They've owned you for years, but there's a possibility that Aaron Rodgers does not go there next year. So what do? You move forward, right? The Lions, I love them, right? I love them, but they're all in the same boat right now. If the Packers don't get Aaron Rodgers, they're all in the same boat. So I do believe they're going in the right direction, but with their track history, I do not trust what the Bears are doing.
I like it, AJ. I'm gonna get to the comments in just a second, but I want to make a quick comment defending the Bears, and then I'm gonna tear them down real quick. They have a huge amount of money to spend in this free agency. So yes, their team looks terrible in a lot of places. That is going to change, but it's not going to change enough to change the whole team around. They're going to gain a lot right now, though. And then losing my train of thoughts. And then you talked about them not being able to trade or draft well.
Right.
They do have a new GM that he just gained last year, so I don't want to blame all the past picks on this current GM. That's another different regime. This guy sucks too, but that's a different regime. Don't put those mistakes on this guy, okay?
I like the comments, by the way.
Yeah. And then before now, I'm going to tear them down a little bit. They're building it all around Justin Fields, who I don't think physically is going to hold up. With how much pressure they're going to put on him on running the ball, the dude's going to get hurt. I heard that during practice last year they were limiting his reps just because he was that winded already.
He was getting hurt last year.
Yes, he was getting hurt. He was winded because all the snaps, all the bruises building up. This is not a guy I think he's going to be able to last a 17 game season, in my opinion. Let's get to these comments real quick.
Can I make a comment on this?
Wait, yes.
Yeah. I'll read it at first.
Okay.
Sorry about that. But Kyrie, you just get my blood boiling every single time something comes out of your mouth. It says, TBH, I'm not worried about no other team. I'm just worried about us getting some decent online, man. To give Joe more than 2 seconds in the pocket, it's ridiculous. Imagine if you give him some time. Imagine if you don't sign every single free agent that is on your team currently right now. Now, that is an issue, and that is an issue that every Bengals fan should be worried about. I'm telling you right now. Okay, right now the Bengals have not made a move on Jesse Bates, and I sure damn hope that the Niners make a move on him, because that's going to be a huge loss to you guys. He is still young and he is still very productive. So O-line, obviously, it's been the biggest issue for the past 2 years. Have y'all addressed it? Not in the slight. Okay, y'all tried to. Did it work out? No. Y'all need to go get yourself that. What was it? That center from what, Tennessee that got released? Go focus on veterans that can protect Joe. And you got to be worried about the Niners, baby, because we ain't going to let you get there.
I love it. I love AJ. Curry says, would Pat be this good if he's getting sacked every 2 seconds? No, I don't think so. Come on, man. Every quarterback is bad when they get hit every 2 seconds.
He's
But
able
2
to
seconds.
extend plays though.
But let's be real, also, Kyrie. 2 seconds is actually a decent amount of time in the pocket. All right, Joe Burrow has about 1 second. All right, 2 seconds is actually a lot of time. If you're not getting this the ball out in 2 seconds, you're a bad quarterback. All right. Caleb, what is up, man? I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's a passing league, but do the Bears have a line so the quarterback can advance? But what is the heart of the team and the line? I might be wrong, but I think about it. I think they need to get a line. Every team needs a line, and the Bears ain't got nothing right now. Also, they ain't got in my opinion, they ain't got a quarterback. They got running backs. They ain't got wide receivers. They ain't got a line. They don't have a defense. They need everything right now.
Kind of like what I just said. I mean, they identify themselves as a run first team or a running team, and they cannot do so without an offensive line. You saw them go through both their running backs suffering through injuries last year, and you also saw them going through their quarterback suffering through injuries last year, just because that's all they want to do. They don't have any time to get the ball out. So you get as many receivers as you want. You don't got time to do so. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You gotta build it in the trenches. That's how you win Super Bowls. Kyrie's 49ers suck. Jeez, man. Come on. It says not Joe. No, Joe needs more than 2 seconds? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm a little confused exactly. Is this supposed to compliment Joe or tear him down? I'm not. You gotta clarify for me, Kyrie.
Joe's a fraud.
Joe is a fraud, man. No, I'm kidding. I like Joe Burrow. I can't say a bad thing about him. Vincent, we haven't heard your thoughts yet on the Bears and their trading away from the first overall pick and Justin Fields. How do you feel about the Bears moving forward?
Well, I think Caleb made a decent claim here. Every team does need an O-line. It is going to start there because they do have a quarterback that can win them some games if they have everything around him. I'm not saying he's going to do it by himself because we've seen that he can. But I still think they need to address a lot. Defensively, I think they are not too bad. They do need some key pieces that can make them a better defense overall, but they do need to focus on the offensive side a lot. They need wide receivers. David Montgomery, he's just not the answer there. I think that he's not on their team anymore, if I'm not mistaken. So I just think they need a lot of pieces. They need wide receivers. They need more running backs that are going to be solid and stick around for the long haul. Because in my opinion, I think that the quarterback is the only position that they have as a staple point. You can make an argument for their tight end position, but even then, the tight end position is not a huge factor in their offensive scheme. So the Bears need a lot, and I think you guys pinpointed a lot of it. They just don't know how to draft. They don't know how to add pieces that are going to contribute to their future success. They're just adding the most talented guy, and sometimes that's not how it always works. So I'm glad that they moved out of the first pick because they were not going to get something that was going to benefit them. They were just going to get the guy with the best talent who wasn't a quarterback. So I think that was the only smart move that they've made so far in the past few seasons, besides drafting Justin Fields. But they just need a lot of work. And I mean, we can go on and on and on about what they need, but it's just how are they going to do it? And I hope they can start figuring that out this season.
All right. I like it. Curry says 1 second, skull, crying face, laughing emoji. Okay. You said any quarterback is bad if they're getting sacked every 2 seconds. I said they're getting the ball out every 2 seconds. I said not Joe, he's him. Man, Kyrie, you're just the biggest Joe apologist. I love it, man. I love your energy. I love how much you love your team. I appreciate you watching, man.
It doesn't sound like he loves his team. It sounds like he loves Joe.
Oh.
He sounds like he likes Jamar Chase. Remember, Kyrie, football's a team sport.
Dang, I like it, AJ. All right, Caleb says, thank you, Vince. AJ, you and me both can agree because we play that position in high school. If I was an owner, I would focus protecting my quarterback, speaking out loud. AJ, what are your thoughts about building the O-line as a center at our high school? What are your thoughts on the O-line?
First team all district center there, Reed.
The disrespect I just put on you.
Yes, it was extremely disrespectful there. I was the smallest lineman in the division. First team all district. Thank you very much. But Caleb, you're absolutely right. As you said before, the offensive line is the heart of that offense. And yes, the QB position might be an important position, but QB is only as good as his O line at times, right? You might have expectation. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. You might have people like Joe Burrow, right, who are able or capable of doing so without a good offensive line. But offensive line is the bread and butter, and that's why the Kansas City Chiefs went to the Super Bowl and not the Cincinnati Bengals, right? So I absolutely agree there. And yeah, you invest into an O line. Look what the Cowboys did back. What was it, 7 years ago? For 2 or 3 straight drafts. That's all they did the
Mhm.
first, second round. O line, O line, O line, O line, and then they had the best O line in the league for the next 3 years, and it showed. Right, I think it's very important. So, totally agree.
I like that. I like that. Curry says my favorite player on the team is T. Higgins, buddy. I don't know, man. I don't hear you talk about T. Higgins too much.
I don't
Not
hear you
too
talk
much.
about Eli Apple,
Ooh,
right?
dang,
I never heard his name come out of your mouth.
dang. He's all about the flashy plays. Caleb says, "Show off. I didn't try." Dang, he's saying that if he tried, he could take in your spot, AJ.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Caleb was a true talent out there. I'm not going to diss anyone on their talent out in the field. I wish you were out there with us, Caleb.
I like that. I like that. They cheated. F that. Those Chiefs. Whoa.
Yeah, Chiefs
Watch
blow.
your language right here in the comments, Caleb. Come on. This is a family friendly show. We got cheated, says Kyrie. He been saying that. Eli sucks. Oh, come on, man. You're supposed to love your team. You
So
support all your players.
he's a player lover.
Ooh, dang. This disrespect on Curry. I cannot believe it. All right, we're going to talk about the Bears draft picks and what we think we should do with them. We say their team is trash. Now, how do they make it better? All right, so I'm going to pull up right now all of the. I don't know what Chrissy Teigen's doing on the side of there, but we're going to talk about the draft picks. All right, first round they had pick number 9 that they got from Carolina. Then they have a huge gap there.
Can you focus, Reed, please?
You, AJ, you. They got the second round where there's a huge gap in talent, in my opinion, from the pick 9 all the way down to 53. There's a lot that they're missing there. I think they're definitely going to try to move up and try to get a better skill position right there. And then they have go right back on the clock on pick 61. They have a third round, a fourth round, 2 fourth rounds, and 2 fifth rounds, and then 2 seventh rounds. How do they build from here, guys?
Young, right? Get rid of David Montgomery. You get rid of him. I love him as a player. I love him in every format, right? But you're looking for the team now, right? The NFL is a business. Teams, it's a business. So you get rid of David Montgomery and look at the trend you're going with on your team. Justin Fields, young. DJ Moore, young. Chase Claypool, young. All those guys, young. St. Brown, young. You go out there, you pick up offensive line, defense, any position defense, offensive line, defense, and the later in the rounds, like around the round 5 or round 7s, you pick up some running backs, right? Maybe you'll find yourself a diamond in the rough, and you never know. But yeah, you focus on your defense and O line, and that's that.
I like that. Yeah, I think they definitely need to beef up their O line. Definitely spend 2 or 3 picks in the third, fourth, or higher rounds. Definitely pick up a wide receiver. You got to add depth right there. They now have DJ Moore, Chase Claypool. They have St. Brown and another guy. I'm blanking on his name, but they don't have a lot of depth in that position. And if you're trying to support Justin Fields and let him be your next quarterback, you got to give him some help there. And then you got to start helping out your defense. You are the Chicago Bears. You got to pay attention to your defense. Stop disrespecting be who you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be one of the best defensive teams out there. When you were the most successful back in the 85, when you won the Super Bowl, that's who you were, a defensive team. When you almost went to the Super Bowl in 2010, but got defeated by the Packers, shout out right over there. You were a great defensive team, one of the best. You just ended up getting beat out by the second best, the Packers that year. You have to get back to your roots. If you do not get back to your roots, that's her whole identity, in my opinion. Vincent, how do they build here in the draft?
I want to say the correct answer here is going O-line and working on that defense, but I don't think they're going to do that this year. In my opinion, I don't think this year is highly rated for the offensive line. They do have some good defensive players, but this draft is mainly quarterbacks and defensive line. It seems like it's always been like that when you see the first round picks, but we rarely see. Any offensive tackles, offensive guards that are ready to pick and play. I know that I can speak for the Seahawks. We had so much trouble finding O linemen, and we just stuck our rookies out there just to test it. But it's not always going to work out like that. So I think, in my opinion, this draft, what they're going to do is they're going to go on skill position and help in the back seven of their defense. I think they'll try to get the best of the best because they don't have too many picks here. But I think some of these guys are going to fall, and I think they will trade up using one of those second round picks or first round picks that they got from this Panthers trade. So they're going to try to get the best of the best this year because next year, I mean, I think they're going to go full offensive line and defensive line. I think they'll get back into those trenches next year. But this year, I think it's different.
I like it. I like it, Vince. All right. Curry says, I have to be honest, he's not that good. Replying to Eli Apple. Nestor says, hello. What is up, Nestor? We
Don't
appreciate
talk
you
about
tuning in.
Nestor.
What? Are we mad at Nestor right now?
Next one. It says, beef the D line to second after the O line, my opinion, and linebackers so they can catch QB and running back. Honestly, like I said, there's some good free agents out there like that center. There's Orlando Brown. I think they might sign the right tackle from the Niners, Mike McGlinchey, because offensive linemen are very scarce in this league. So let's say you sign Mike McGlinchey, right? And then now with the 9th overall pick, you get a guy that had been scouting pretty well here. Peter Skoronsky from Northwestern. He's an offensive lineman. He could honestly see a lot of success early in his career, and you might just be the first team to pick up an offensive lineman. So that's great. You wait to the second round, and that's where you could pick up an edge rusher, maybe someone like Derek Hall from Auburn. He's been showing a lot of promise out there in the combine and all his tape as well from college. So I'll definitely like that.
All right. I like it. Does anybody have any last comments or anything other talking points that we want to talk about this trade? This is a huge trade. Obviously, it can be a franchise-changing trade for both the Bears and the Panthers. What do you guys have to last comments on this trade that happened?
So I have a comment. It's not going to be about the Bears, but it's going to be possibly about what's going to affect the Panthers and giving away that first round pick. I'm looking at what the Texans have. They have 11 picks. I just found out that they also forfeited their 5th round pick because of some of the salary cap issues that happened during the season. So that's a huge blow to them. That's someone that they need. Anybody with any talent in that 5th round is going to help them because their depth chart, let's face it, I mean, it's not the best, and it's probably one of the worst in NFL history, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I think that the Texans are the only plausible team that will trade up to that first round pick. So they might trade something from next year because I think they're going full in with this year with their new coach, D'Amico Ryans. I think he's going to help them be really smart with his draft. He's a great coach, and I think that he's going to affect that locker room and how they draft this year. So don't be too excited that they'll draft into the first round pick there, but I think they will definitely make moves to move up.
All right. Vincent, you got it? Or AJ, you got anything?
Oh my gosh,
I'm
dude.
sorry. Okay,
What
I'm
the
sorry.
heck? First you say I'm not even first team all district out there in
my
high school, and now
gosh.
you're calling me Vincent.
You're
Jeez,
overreacting.
I mean, that's a compliment being called Vincent, by the way. Look how handsome he is. But I don't have anything else to say about this situation. I think it was a great deal for the Bears. Hopefully they don't F this up. And I'm going to say it again. Hopefully they do not F this up because the Bears have been irrelevant my whole life. I want to see teams change. Right. For those of y'all in the comment section, if you haven't yet, go to our YouTube. That's where we post the majority of our content. So Caleb, I see you're watching on Facebook. If you haven't yet, hit up our YouTube, hit that subscribe button. It helps out a lot. And also on our YouTube banner, we have a Discord. If you join our Discord, we are very active there. We take video suggestions. We talk about football. We talk about bets. We talk about our sponsorship, which is Redcon 1. So go ahead and check that out if you like.
Awesome. Getting back to the comments, Caleb says Cowboys suck. Amen. Come on, we like that. And I say that because if you have a team that it's just name, you need someone that's not over the team, and that's the problem with the Cowboys. All right.
For instance, Jerry Jones.
10-4. 10-4. Who's he?
10-4. 10-4.
Oh, 10-4. Sorry.
10-4.
I was assuming it was a record or so. Sorry. Let's go. Okay. We have some breaking news. All right. So the Texans have signed former Titans and Rams wide receiver Robert Woods, adding a veteran presence to the team as a 2-year deal, $15 million. AJ, come on, don't be disrespectful. All right.
Who joined that team?
Robert Woods. Dude.
Who?
Oh my gosh.
What did they call him last year? Dog tree, something like that.
Or twig.
The tree, something tree, right? But who's gonna throw to him? Who?
It's a veteran presence, man.
Mr. Long Neck Mills, bro.
You guys loved this guy last year, remember? Roll back the tape.
Hey, all I said last year was that Davis Mills had a better rookie season than Mac Jones. That's all I said.
You said you believed in this guy.
I believed in Davis Mills.
Roll back the tape. Nestor, get in here.
Nestor's not welcome here. Gosh, PI Podcast says Bears have so much potential, just need to see the right moves. That's exactly what we just talked about. Great move for the Bears. Hopefully they do not F this up. Oh my gosh, this guy's back in again. Hey, Caleb, if you're here, can you please roast this guy, Mr. Thotis, please?
God.
But sorry, just joining. Brandon Cooks at Woods is a good combo for a rookie QB. If that route they go, it worked for Trevor. Hopefully it is a good route for them. I don't think it is. That's just my opinion, though. And speaking of my opinion, PI Podcast, I'm glad you're here because I'll love. I don't know if you watched our other episodes, but I'll love to talk about the Daniel Jones situation because I got a very strong opinion there. And I love it. I love it.
AJ's looking for a fight.
Oh, I'm not looking for fight. No, I just like conversation. I just like conversation. That's it. That's all.
All right. What's up, Israel? Israel says big dogs. Nestor says on my way. He's looking for the clips.
All right. There we go, Caleb. It's the biggest Cowgirl fan I know. It's the Texans, though. My PA Podcast. Okay, I love it. I love when the comment section is coming alive. But yeah, hopefully the Bears can do something. I think it's a horrible move from the Panthers. Like I said, I think it's a big mistake. Only way they bounce back is if they actually trade back, get some of those picks coming in again, because now they lost their biggest offensive hope that they have, right? I mean, I know you see some glimmer of shine with those running backs, but I don't think it's enough, right? And defensively, you have Brian Burns, great player, but you don't have anything else. What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't know.
Yeah. They need to find out something. But hey, adding anybody makes the team better at this point for the Texans. Adding anybody.
Panthers are desperate.
Yeah, they are. All right, we're gonna get into a little bit of Aaron Rodgers talk. I know AJ hates this. He's probably gonna leave. I don't know if you guys talked to me about this earlier. Sorry, he's gone. Secret note: AJ loves Aaron Rodgers. He talks about him nonstop. He can't get over this guy.
He is the center of attention. That's all it is.
You put him in the center of attention. You're the problem.
Season.
You're the media who keeps talking about him.
I'm the NFL. Look at me. I'm gonna make you think I'm joining the Jets because that'll be cool, right? Because Brett Favre did it. But you know what? I'm cleansing my soul. I'm going to go my own path. I'm not going to join the Jets. I'm wasting everyone's time. Jordan Love, your whole career has been a waste because of me, and I'm proud of it. That is Aaron Rodgers. That's what he does. That's what he's going to continue to do for at least the next 2 years. He's going to go to retirement and then be like, hey, I'm back. Everyone look at me. I'm so relevant. He said it on that hour-long podcast, which I wasted an hour of my life watching it, saying, oh, I'm afraid that I might become irrelevant once I'm out of the league. What will people think of me? Who gives a what people think of you? You made millions. You ruined careers. You ruined lives, and not the good way either. So good riddance with Aaron Rodgers. I used to be a huge fan of his, and then he became whatever you want to call him. I like to call him a hippie, a druggie. I don't. He's dead to me. He is.
AJ loves Aaron Rodgers so much. He listens to all of his interviews, all of the podcasts he's on. Doesn't matter how long the podcast is, or I tell him it's going to be a waste of your time. I don't think it's going to be a good video. He watches all of it because he loves him so much. Loves him so much. PA podcast. Fact is, his stats got better after the ball got there. Jones has had nothing but instability at head coach and offensive coordinator. And the first year they actually got it right, he strides. He strived with a win-loss record. His stats were not that good. I'm not the biggest Daniel Jones hater, but his stats were not that good, especially to deserve that contract.
I might slide into your DMs, PI podcast. These might be a good thing that we could do. Put this live on, not live, but recorded or live, whatever you like to do. But just to comment on that, I think Daniel Jones hit his ceiling last year. That's the best you get of Daniel Jones, and that's all he would ever do. Good for him. Super happy that he got paid. But I just don't think it was a good move for the Giants. And I can explain why if we do decide to go that route.
I like it. 12-5 season. Can't talk about the boys. Is he saying that the Cowboys are going to go 12-5?
He said that's the record.
Oh, yeah.
He said just like Prescott.
Kato says, I'm sorry, I love the Packers read, but he is right. I love Aaron Rodgers to this day. I think he's a weird hippie now, and I hope he figures something out. But he's finding a lot of different love and stuff, and in a lot of different ways where I'm kind of losing him a little bit. But as a player, I love the guy. He's most likely going to end up with the Jets, or he's going to retire, from what I've heard. And that sucks. I'm not going to be able to see him play a Packer game ever. Really, really blows, in my opinion. Really unfortunate, but at the end of the day, I will always appreciate and love Aaron Rodgers as a player. PSA cause, wait, where is the most realistic spot for the Rodgers? Because if you remember, when Brady left, no one had Tampa on the radar. It was the Titans, Dolphins, and 49ers. I think it will be a random team. Not really. No, I don't believe so. Brady's situation was completely different. He was a free agent. Rodgers is he's on the Packers. The only way he leaves is if he gets traded, because we're not cutting him, because I think our cap hit this year goes up to like 90 million if we cut him right now. It's a completely unrealistic thing that could happen. We need to trade him, and I think his current cap hit is 31, and when we trade him, our cap hit goes up to 40. So we actually lose cap when we trade him this year, but we saved in future years. But I don't think it's going to be a random team at all. It's going to be the Jets. The Jets are the only team that Aaron Rodgers has talked to, and this is going to come within the next 2 days, because he said this is going to get resolved before free agency. The Packers need this resolved before free agency. The Jets want this resolved before free agency. It's going to happen in the next 2 days. AJ, stop, dude.
You're driving me nuts. You're driving. We waited.
I'm not answering a comment right now. Our fans want to talk about Aaron Rodgers, and I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, because PA Podcast tweeted this. Okay, they tweeted this, and I remember. Okay, I believe I like this tweet because he's not asking, oh, he's basically asking, is it going to be random where Aaron Rodgers goes? Because that's very similar to what Tom Brady did. And I feel like it might be whatever cleanses his soul, right? Whatever is the best in his tasting palate. We waited last year like, oh, Aaron Rodgers has to choose by today because it matters in the cap hit. It matters in this. Aaron Rodgers moves in his own time, okay? And it could be random. We might see him go to the Washington Commanders. I would love to see that. Look at Vince's face. He likes that. I like your face too, Vince. But I'm just saying, like, I can't stand this guy. Can't stand him.
I think right now the Jets are the most plausible because they've been the ones that have talked to him, blah 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 blah. But in reality, it's the Packers wanting to get the best deal. And I think it's finally great that they're gonna get a deal for this guy, whatever it is. I don't care if it's 2 second-round picks, as long as they take most of that contract away. I'm really praying for you here, Reed. You know, I don't like the Packers, but I know you love them and you're gonna be a diehard for the rest of your life. But Aaron Rodgers just needs to go, and I'm glad that you're finally realizing it.
I believe that as a financial business decision, it's the best for him to go. At the end of the day, I want him in a Packers uniform. I do not want to see him in a Jets uniform. I
Why
will
did you
do
give me
any.
so much crap about Jimmy G then?
I don't give you crap. I just
You
like to
used to.
poke you. I just like to poke you, AJ. Gotta poke the
Okay.
bear.
All right. Okay.
Aaron Rodgers is not the same as Jimmy G.
Jimmy G wins more games. You're right. They're not the same.
Okay.
You're right.
All right. Practice squad wide receiver though.
Jimmy G owns Aaron Rodgers. Owns him.
The team 49ers own Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, so do the Packers own the Bears or do Aaron Rodgers own the Bears?
The Packers.
Yeah,
What's
I
what's our all-time record?
don't know. I don't pay attention to the Packers record.
We win.
Oh my God.
In what 10 years? I'm not sure. This comment came.
It's referring to Israel, I think.
Okay. Nestor says, "Dang, love you around here, Nestor." Israel says, "I believe the Bears made the right move, a smart move. Maybe I don't like it too much. I mean, Rodgers to the Jets, at least they have a good wide receiver. Israel still with the wide receiver.
Dog water.
Jokes, man. Christian Watson is better than what's his name, Garrett Wilson or whatever. It's just
Garrett Wilson did win Rookie of the Year, which was robbed from Brock Purdy.
Robbed.
No, it was robbed from our running back.
Robbed from Christian Watson. Had the most touchdowns
Walker?
more than any other rookie.
Screwed me in fantasy last year.
The Jets had good wide receivers. That's true. Agree with you. They have all right. Young talent. He's gonna hate him, talk trash about him. He's gonna be a bad teammate. All the media stuff. I don't think Green Bay is bringing him back. The Green Bay has said, and that's one of the main things I want to talk about, is Mark Murphy was at this random high school basketball game today, and somebody asked him, "Hey, is there a potentiality where Rodgers comes back?" And Mark Murphy says, "I sure hope not." Basically, it would be not in our first plan A. So the Packers don't even want him back. So that's where we're at. Crazy. I did not think that was going to come from the Packers, but it came from the big guy, the CEO himself. PI podcast. I mean, TBH, I don't think the Jets are that attractive. The offense has some pieces, and the defense is good and a good head coach. Yeah, solid. I like that guy. But that division is far from easy. He has any sway, is going to go to NFC South. Rodgers doesn't have any sway. He doesn't. The Packers can trade him wherever he wants, or he can be a Packer next year and then force him to retire. The Packers hold the leverage. They can trade him wherever the Packers want. And right now, the Jets are the only team that so far that have come forward and say that we want Aaron Rodgers. That's where we're at. AJ, do you have anything to say?
Look at it, right? Look at it. It doesn't make sense. Why would Rodgers go to the Jets? Because they got Nathaniel Hackett? As I told you, Nathaniel Hackett was successful because of Rodgers, right? We saw him fail out there in Denver. Matt LaFleur is successful because of Rodgers, right? He's not a good head coach. He hasn't proven that he's a good head coach, right? In what world does it make sense for the Jets to get Aaron Rodgers? They're a young team. Aaron Rodgers is not young, not the slightest. He's not young. What's he going to do? Make him win a Super Bowl? You've seen the AFC. They're stacked. What did Aaron Rodgers do last year? He was calling out plays from 2012. That's what he was doing because he couldn't get with the program because it's his way or the highway. Now, Robert Saleh, he's not going to roll with that. I can't stand you guys.
AJ loves that he does a podcast with us. His two best friends. We support him, and that's why we're not going to show Caleb's most recent comment. We are not going to make fun of AJ. We're not going to say these type of things about him. We're big AJ. We are a pro go
Go.
AJ
AJ.
show. AJ is currently walking away, or he's trying to fight us right now. I'm going to bring him into the screen. Oh, he's not doing it anymore. All right. Geno Smith owns the 49ers. That's not
Geno
even
Smith owns
complete.
the Niners? Are you kidding me right now? And who owns the Cowboys? Who knocked out the Cowboys from the playoffs 2 years in a row? Huh? Who sent them so home for another freaking season? Who did that?
Thank
Who
you,
did
AJ,
that?
for
The
keeping this a
Niners.
family-friendly show.
The
Right
Niners.
there.
No one gives a flying. You're Cowboys, dude. Seriously?
Wow, our editor is so good at cutting out AJ at the perfect moments. It's really incredible. All right, PA Podcast says, TBH, I forgot about Hackett going there. If I'm the Jets, I'll give up a second at most for him. But Green Bay will want much more. But Rodgers has not much left in the tank. From what I've seen, I mean, the Jets are pretty down bad for Aaron Rodgers. They have very much been known from the very beginning that we want Aaron Rodgers. The whole coaching staff has basically met him. The owner, everybody's gone out to literally fly over to where Aaron Rodgers is currently to talk to him personally. They've put everything out on the line for him. I imagine there's at least going to be a first, hopefully more. I don't know exactly what the going rate is for a quarterback that may only play one more year. I don't know where we're going to get back. Hopefully it's good, and hopefully we don't get fleeced in the trade. Yep. All right. Nessa says, we love you, AJ. Wow, look at these comments. AJ, love you, buddy. Dang, AJ. Hearts for AJ. Israel says he loves you, AJ. Look at all the AJ love in the comments. Guys, you're making his art feel so warm right now. AJ, what do you have to say to all your fans that adore you right now?
I love you guys too, but honestly,
all right. Caleb says, "I just wanted to poke on you, buddy." He wants to poke you, AJ.
Yeah, I want to poke you too.
All right. AJ, would you like to talk any more on Aaron Rodgers, or would you like to move on to
oh
something
yes,
else?
please give me more Aaron Rodgers. Ever since we started this freaking podcast, it's about Aaron Rodgers. That's what changes to the Aaron Rodgers show.
That'll be fun. All right. We're gonna move on to something else. BCB had his surgery today. Big confidence Brock. We're going to talk about the Niners right now. AJ's really excited. AJ, talk about his surgery that just happened. Where does he recover from here?
His recovery is in a 3-month span. He's going to start throwing the ball again. Of course, you're going to start with tennis balls and move up to a football out there and be, as we all know, big Brock. Just like last year, man. Big confidence Brock. That's what I said, right? I don't know why the editor muted me out. Big confidence Brock, and he's gonna sling the ball. And it's a good thing because we got him, we got Trey Lance, and I am a little worried, right? What if he doesn't come back like he was last year? What if Trey Lance is not the guy who we drafted? So I'm really looking forward to see how the 49ers handle the QB situation and what kind of veteran they will sign, hopefully on the cheap. But super excited. Surgery was successful, and definitely see him coming back.
Love that. Would love to see him at the beginning of the year and have Trey Lance never touch the football again.
Oh my god!
I would be really happy for.
Might as well call him Jordan Love.
Whoa! Jordan Love's gonna get plenty of touches soon. All right, AJ, get plenty of touches. It's gonna be awesome. All right.
Now I have a question for AJ since we're gonna be talking about the 49ers a little bit. With Trey Lance coming back, who do you start? With BCB and Trey Lance, both there at the same position, who starts?
I think PCB getting injured was somewhat helpful for the Niners to make this decision going forward. Unfortunately, yeah, when he got injured, that cost us the Super Bowl because we would have won 100%. But with him getting injured, allows the Niners to take their time, quote unquote, take their time and not rush Brock Purdy back, right? So you invested so much into Trey Lance, right? Not as much as the Carolina Panthers, right? But you invested a lot into Trey Lance. So at least see what you got, right? You've never driven this car before. Let's see it, right? You test him out. Let him start the first few games because you don't want to rush Brock Purdy back. That's what you tell the media. But you let him start the first few games, see what he has, because after this year, that's when you got to decide, okay, are we extending this dude or we letting him hit the market? And when he hits the market, you already know he's going to get signed. And the reason why he's going to get signed is because one, he got drafted high, and two, he is super young. He's 22 years old. He's younger than 90% of the league right now. He's younger than 70% of the quarterbacks in the draft. So, I mean, there's a lot to invest in there. You can mold him into what you want him to be. So those are my thoughts.
I like that, AJ. I definitely think if Trey Lance did hit the open market, that there would be a lot of people to be interested and at least seeing, like, especially on those teams that have like no defined quarterback. There's going to be a quarterback competition. I think that Trey Lance being grown up in the Shanahan offense, that people are going to think that, hey, this guy has learned a lot. He's experienced in this league. At least a little bit of experience, and he could potentially become somebody. I like that. Caleb said, at least it's not the Prescott show, referring to the Aaron Rodgers show. Israel says, dang. He says, but I love the quarterback that you have. He has a lot to learn, AJ. Not to worry on the 49ers, AJ. I think the 49ers, says Israel, needs to actually draft a quarterback in the first round.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
I don't think they need a reset. I think they just need to put any quarterback in there that has at least a decent amount of talent, and they can be successful.
Can I put something in perspective here?
Yes, please.
I repeated myself so many times, but just so I don't sound biased, Vincent, who is Geno Smith? Who's Geno Smith?
He's a good quarterback. That's who he is.
Why is he a good quarterback? Why did he do so well just this past season? Why did we barely recognize him?
Because he hasn't been a starter. He finally got his chance and he showed out.
He was a starter out there in New York, but go on.
Like 8 years ago, yeah.
Right, yeah.
But now he's finally in a system where he has talent around him, so that's why he was successful this year.
He was in a great system. Did he have talent? Yeah, he had good talent, right? And also he had a great head coach. He made that system look, it's a very QB friendly system. Look at Russell Wilson, how he did with the years with the Seattle Seahawks, and then look at him with the Denver Broncos. Look at the 49ers. The 49ers went through 4 quarterbacks last year, and they were in the NFC Championship game. Look at the system and look at the head coach. A very QB friendly system. You just have to be above average. Look at Jimmy G. Who was he before the Niners? Who is he going to be after the Niners? Is he going to be relevant? I don't think so. I think he's going to be a Matt Ryan. Love the guy, handsome as hell, just like Vince. But it's all about the system. The Niners will draft a quarterback though.
In what round?
Very late, very in the 6th, 7th round.
Okay, I think it's definitely you got to add somebody in there just in case.
Right.
Just in case. They go through quarterbacks like crazy. Brock Purdy was a good quarterback, AJ. He surprised me in the playoffs when he got hurt. I don't know. AJ, I'm not trying to get you mad. It's because the 49ers have quarterbacks that break like glass. This is very true, man. AJ's gone through so many quarterback injuries.
They have their entire team is like glass sometimes, bro. It just depends on which position they want to choose that year.
Guys, that's enough. It's enough. All right, I want to give you the scenarios, okay? Because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's because of Kyle Shanahan. It's because of this, that." It's a Niners curse, okay? You look at it. Trey Lance, he is a dual threat quarterback. He went on a run, and unfortunately, his leg got hit in the right place when, and then it snapped. You know, his ankle snapped. It happens, right? It's football. It's a contact sport. Jimmy G, as I've been saying the past few years, he gets injured every single year. He held the ball longer than what he's supposed to. He even came out and admitted it. He was supposed to throw the ball away, but instead he tried to extend the play. Got hit 2 ways, which resulted in a high ankle sprain, which he sat out for the rest of the season. Freaking wuss. Brock Purdy, it was a missed block by the backup tight end, and as he threw the ball, his elbow hit a helmet in the right spot, right time, right angle, right force, and just tore his UCL. Happens to a lot of quarterbacks out there. And Josh Johnson, I mean, we all saw that hot mess, but it happens. It's a contact sport. Just luck of the draw, I guess.
Yep. It happens. Vince, ha 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 ha, says Caleb. Yeah, man. I really hope the Brock Purdy ends up in the starting role. I like the kid. I think he has a lot to bring to the Niners, and I think maybe that you can potentially. I think Trey Lance's ceiling's maybe potentially higher, but I don't know if he's ever going to get that chance again after how much success Brock Purdy had.
Brock Purdy set the floor pretty damn high.
Yep. I don't know. Maybe they put BCB back in there, and he has a sophomore slump. It happens to a lot of people.
It does. Look at Justin Herbert.
Yep, happens to a lot of people. But hopefully not. I wish nothing but success to the 49ers quarterbacks, and I wish them good health.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope the Niners team stays healthy, and we all know how that goes every single year.
Hey, you guys will end up in the playoffs somehow.
Yep.
Yeah.
To be there.
All right. Let me see what else we had on the agenda for today. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is that news is going to drop in the next couple of days. Hopefully, I'm able to put out a Packer Talk video soon about that when it happens. What did you laugh, AJ?
I didn't laugh.
You didn't laugh?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I hate laughing.
You hate what?
Go on. What's on the agenda, dude? What's next?
The only thing I ever have that is, I think, big in my opinion is the Dolphins picking up Tua's 5th-year option. So they are planning for the future with Tua, not with any other quarterback. There was a lot of rumors that the Dolphins were going to try to get Tom Brady or another veteran quarterback out there. But at the end of the day, they're moving forward with Tua. They picked up a 5th-year option, which I believe is like a $20 million option or plus. So
did he know he signed that off that extension?
What?
Like, was he aware that he signed that extension?
That's a 5th-year option. He doesn't have to sign anything for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's part of his rookie deal. So why are you gonna be mean to him, man?
But I'm sorry.
Israel says, what about the Eagles losing all of their players? Yeah, Darius Slay, they've allowed him to go seek a trade. I'm forgetting who else is. They released somebody today. Was it offensive lineman, I believe? Or
does that get you excited, Israel? Does that make you happy that Eagles are losing players? Is that going to give the Cowboys the edge in that division? I think those are the questions that you should be asking yourself in the mirror every single morning when you wake up.
This is getting deep.
Is that what's going to happen? Because he still got Jalen Hurts, they still got AJ Brown, they still got the coaching staff, they still got stud players, that star defense players that they sign again. What about the Cowboys? The Cowboys are kind of stagnant right now. What are they going to do? Sign D-Hop? Is that going to help? Dak Prescott is not a smart guy. Great guy, not the smartest out there. And you see Washington, right? Washington's a hell of a team. I said it last year. I know what their record looked like, but I'm going to say it again. They are one quarterback away from being the same level as the Cowboys and competing right there with the Philadelphia Eagles. And look at the Giants. They're confident. They just signed Daniel Jones. They're confident. See what they do.
All right. Speaking of Dak, Caleb says Prescott has 1 year to prove himself. Am I right? But that's Jerry Jones' fault anyways. Got you, AJ. Nestor says Steelers have lost 2 players today. I don't remember who's those 2 players.
No one cares about the Steelers.
We care about you, Nestor. I don't know what you did to AJ to make him so angry, but we do care. Let us know who those 2 players are. I'm not off the top of my head know who they are.
Irrelevant.
But let's talk about Dak Prescott actually a little bit. They just restructured his deal. today, added, I believe, 2 void years, where his cap hit is going to skyrocket this next year. So 2023, his cap hit is at 27 million, which isn't bad for a quarterback. That's actually pretty good. But next year, 2024, his cap hit is at $59 million. And there's not a lot of pushing out they can do with that anymore. The next 2 years are void years where he's not technically on the team, but he is still hitting cap on the team. So they've pushed this thing out so far. And the thing is, even usually when there's a cap hit that big, like 59 million, there's a way to cut them and have a huge amount of cap savings. Like usually you would see out of that 59 million, maybe you have a dead cap hit of 20 million, you save like 40 million, something like that along those lines. But actually, they actually hit more dead money if they end up cutting him next year or trading him. No, I'm not sure about trading him. Let me double check that. Yeah, if they trade him, they hit like 60 million in dead cap. Actually, their cap goes up next year if they trade or cut him. That is where the Cowboys are at. They need to. They put all their cards in Dak Prescott, and I don't see a way out for them. Also, the Cowboys have to put everything into Dak Prescott now.
He's probably worshiping his shrine of Ezekiel Elliott or something. I don't know. He's a Cowboys fan. What do they got to look forward to? But who's Dak? Why Dak? Where's Dak? Where's Ezekiel Elliott? Where's that at? I mean, why are we talking about this? Don't we cover this enough?
I'm sorry, a lot of people were asking.
All right, then let me ask you all this: should the Cowboys continue on with Dak Prescott?
Well, I don't see a way out for them.
You don't see all about Ezekiel Elliott because they've been doing the same damn thing for the past 5 years. What have they done? The same damn thing. It's insanity, right? Why are you expecting a different outcome?
I mean, they placed the franchise tag on Tony Pollard, and they do plan on signing him to a long-term deal, which I think both parties are interested in. So definitely they're going to move away from Zeke eventually. When that's going to be, I don't think it's going to be this year, unfortunately, for them. I think he's definitely going to be on the team this next year.
So here's the problem with the Cowboys. They do it every single year. They draft someone who is like eye candy, and Jerry Jones is like blinded, like all the time. I don't know why, but every time he picks someone in the draft, there's always one person every single year. Last year was Parsons. The year before that was probably some guy who's not on the team anymore. He's probably on the defensive line and he's gone. The year before that, some other guy. Year before that, it was Dak Prescott. Year before that, it was someone else, right? Every time there's always one guy that is Jerry Jones eye candy, and he locks him up way too early. So he doesn't extend them on their 4th-year option, 5th-year option, whichever round they're drafted in. He always pays them before they are due. And that is a blessing and a curse because they do good until they get paid. And it's happened with all of their stars. Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, CD Lamb did pretty good, but we'll see if he can continue that. I think that they just see too many stars with a lot of personality, and Jerry Jones likes that because he likes the attention. It gives him more money. But in my opinion, I don't think Jerry Jones is worried about winning Super Bowls. I think he's just worried about making money. So it's sorry for the Cowboys fans, but I just think that's the way that organization works. It's making money before they get rings. So that's just my opinion, though.
I think they're all about making money, but I do think Jerry Jones is smart, and I know he knows if they win a Super Bowl, the money blows up. These Cowboy fans are going to go rabid. They've been so desperate and deprived of playoff wins. They're going to go crazy. AJ's laughing because he knows that these Cowboy fans are absolutely wild.
they can't help themselves, man. They can't. It's like every year they win the Super Bowl. So I could just imagine if they actually take off that VR headset and look at the real world, and they actually do win the Super Bowl. I could just imagine what's going to happen. Philadelphia set their city on fire. I live in Texas, so I'm actually scared for my life of what's going to happen. I think a purge is going to commence or something. It's going to be insane. I'm going to have to fend for my life here. So I rally you, NSP, non-Cowboy fan NSP, faithfuls. I rally you. If we ever come to the point, let's gather together and defend one another. Because all hell will break loose if that happens.
Are we meeting up at your place, AJ?
All at my place. I'll set out my Addy when the time is right.
We already got the squad. There's nobody else joining us. You guys can be outside.
You have to show the subscription on your phone in order to enter. If not, we're throwing you out with the wolves.
That's the way. That's where you get in. I love it. I love it. All right. This has been a great episode. Thank you guys all for tuning in. We loved the comment section today. You guys were going crazy. Israel was going crazy. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who commented. We appreciate it. This is why we do this, for the fans, for the comments, for you guys. Asher, Keto, I don't know. Have we seen him before?
Asher, I don't think I've ever seen you here on the show. Thank you so much for joining us live. I really do appreciate you being here. If you have any questions, go ahead and just shoot it in the comment section. We get to every single comment down here. But going back to reset, we're super appreciative of all you guys here in the comment section. If you haven't yet, go hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We are super active. We're trying to release videos every week, shorts every week. Twitter, we try to tweet, and we are very active on our Discord. Yesterday, I posted up a bet on basketball, and it hit. It hit. So go out there. We're very active. We have tons of comments, tons of video suggestion boxes. So give us a try. Hit that subscribe button. It's awesome. I love you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in today. We really appreciate it. We're going to end it off unless anybody has anything left to say. Please put it in the comments down below. But as AJ said, to make sure you guys subscribe so you can stay in. Yes, as Nestor's saying, make sure you like and subscribe. Are you a Nestor? Are you guys good now, AJ?
No, I still hate Nestor so much.
You still hate Nestor?
Yeah,
okay.
I can't stand him.
Okay, well,
I like that comment. It's a good comment.
Okay. All right. Hopefully, AJ and Nestor figure this thing out. But thank you guys all for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you can tune into everything. Turn that notification bell so as soon as we go live, you guys know that we are live. You can tune in. AJ says, "Love you, buddy. Sweet dreams."
I'm AJ. Sweet dreams, man. Go to bed, man. Nestor, you come over here. I'll put you to bed.
Vincent, screw us. We don't matter. Whatever.
We get no love.
Ain't no love for us. Ain't no love.
This is the AJ Love Show. Y'all saw
AJ,
it.
All right. Send us off.
Oh, okay. Appreciate every single one of you guys here. Thank you so much. Like I said, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, go check out Redcon1. Redcon1 is our sponsor. So use promo code T20NSP to get a discount on your purchase. Thank you all so much. And until next time, keep on grinding.